Southeast Asia is all about bold flavours and Moorish comfort food. Eating out is ingrained in its culture, but perhaps not for every day. I'm Jeremy Pang, and here are my healthy street eats. I'm here with Thomas Nguyen, and you're going to show me around the whole city. We're in the center of the city right now.
Yes.
In Dao Deng Park.
It's really good for meditating or a good place for working out everything that you have ate from yesterday.
Eating is meditating in Ho Chi Minh. We're going to go do some meditation.
Let's go. So this time right now is the time that the people came out from the office for the lunch.
Okay.
And which is $1.
$1 for your lunch.
Yeah. You can have multi-topping on your rice.
Sounds like my kind of lunch. Yeah.
Yes. This is my favorite. What she's cooking is an egg loaf cake.
Egg loaf cake.
Yes. So it's really simple, but really popular.
So is it meat inside?
Well, we have the minced pork together.
Minced pork.
Some of the rice vermicelli. They rinse it and then they just steam together with some egg together.
So it's a minced pork steamed egg with vermicelli. And what about this? Is that egg as well?
Yeah, this is the young eggs inside the chicken.
Okay.
So when they are cooking the chicken, when they chopping it, they get those things from outside, and then they stir fry it with some tamarind and some chili.
Right. Okay. So how long has she been running this store for?
We've been here 11 years.
11 years.
I mean, like, if you look closely, we can see the two different things. This is from the ribs.
Yeah.
And this is for the pork chop.
And then we've got fried fish over here.
Yes.
You could probably do a healthy version of that by pan frying, no?
Yeah. I think that would be a good idea.
She's getting us to work, right?
Yeah, she said you have to flip fast, otherwise it's going to be
Flip fast, otherwise you brown it. Okay. Has she got anything secret in there?
I think it would be her heart, her soul. Because that is what the Vietnamese cooking. We're cooking with our heart, I'm telling you.
He's such a charmer. Yeah.
See, that's the heart of the Vietnamese cooking.
I feel like her long lost son. So it's almost like for me, and I kind of knew this before I came, it's my first time in Vietnam, but Vietnamese food out of all the Asian cuisines lends itself really well to healthy eating.
That's right.
Yeah. So bánh xèo, Vietnamese pancake, it's really popular, right?
Yes, it is. It's everywhere. But the thing I love about this pancake is that it's like, it encourages you to eat together with a lot of vegetables, and you can see the dish here.
Yeah. Loads of vegetables. And turmeric, we're calling the super spice.
Yes.
You know, it's good for you in many, many different ways.
Yes.
And you can have this however you want, packed full of vegetables, super healthy in itself. I wouldn't change it.
We have right here a Jeremy favorite, as I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. This is the Vietnamese grilled pork in petal leaf. Yes. And they just grill it.
The texture of it is actual, like, freshly minced meat. And that's the key to this being so good.
Yes.
If it's too soft, it doesn't quite work. Oh, thank you. I love this place. Food just turns up from everywhere. It's like, eat this, eat that, okay. Ho Chi Minh City has shown off some of the most creative chefs I've seen in Southeast Asia. From its vast and varied history, it seems to connect a multitude of different cultures. Their passion for cooking is an understatement. It truly comes from the heart. It's built in. The beauty here is the food I've tried already has an underlying base of health that I know will easily translate to cooking healthy street eats at home. As we've seen, the food of Vietnam really is quite healthy in itself already. But I've picked out the healthier side of it, and I've gone for the broken rice because there's so many different dishes that sort of show you that balanced Vietnamese meal. Now, classic broken rice is that sort of crushed up broken white rice, but I've tweaked that a little and picked up a 10-grain, short-grain Korean rice here, which I think will work really well with this dish. And then the rest of the stuff, I've gone for the egg meatloaf, nice and simple, healthy, steamed, a pan-fried pommes frites, so pan-fried fish, and some pea shoots on the side. Let's get cooking. So I've picked out this 10-grain rice because it's full of ancient grains, which is absolutely great because all of the grains of rice are really good for you, but also have that shorter grain, which will sort of almost be quite similar to that broken white rice that everyone loves in Vietnam. You want to wash your rice 3 or 4 times, and once the water runs clear, your rice is nice and clean. I'm actually going to cook this with some chicken stock and some coconut water. Roughly half-half. And to measure, your hands are all you need. I'm actually going to press down with the palm of my hand flat to the rice, and if the water hits the level of my middle knuckle, that's enough water. Perfect. Cover it with a lid, bring it to a boil. When it's boiling, turn it right down to a nice low simmer. Right, we're on to my steamed egg meatloaf. All the ingredients over here, and we're starting with some homegrown fresh duck eggs. These are actually from one of our chefs. She's got 3 ducks at home. So we're very lucky to have that. Now I want a couple of egg yolks ready for later. But outside of that, I'm going to go for 4 whole duck eggs. And then the last 2 duck eggs here, I'm going to split just for the yolk. Don't waste that egg white. Pop that into there as well. So I'm going to just season the eggs up a little. Pinch of salt and pepper. I quite like when I'm doing steamed egg, and this steamed egg is a really traditional Chinese home-cooked dish, to get out as many bubbles as possible so that the egg itself is really nice and smooth. The easiest way I find to do that is just with a bit of kitchen paper and just sort of dish out those bubbles. Just get rid of any of that foam. Your egg yolk, just going to mix together. And we're going to kind of spread that over the top of the meatloaf once we've compiled the whole thing. Just for a different colour and texture over the top. My rice is actually boiling now, so I'm just going to turn that down to low heat. Let that sit. It's going to take at least another sort of 10 to 15 minutes. Once the level of the water hits the level of the rice, I'm going to switch it off and let it just steam in its own steam. Your minced pork. I've gone for a really nice lean minced pork here to keep it super healthy. We're going to season that with a bit of fish sauce and a pinch of sugar. That's just to balance out that saltiness. You get a good mix through. I've got some just pre-fried chopped Thai shallots. Some rice vermicelli chopped up again. That's just soaked in hot water for about 3 or 4 minutes. And these are great for texture. Some wood ear mushroom, shredded and finely chopped up. Again, just mix that through. Once that's all mixed together, then your egg can go over the top. Just break up your bits of meat. Try and get it as even as possible. So then, just want to get a nice tall bowl or heat-proof vessel. I've got my egg yolk that I'm now going to pour over the top of this. Lastly, just a drizzle of oil, and then my meatloaf is ready to steam. I'm actually going to steam this in our steam oven just so I've got space on my hob. But if you wanted to steam it, you could just pop it straight over your rice in a steam basket that fits, or on top of your wok. Full steam, 20 minutes. So the rice has been going for a good 20 minutes. I'm going to switch that off now, and I can see that the level of the water has hit the level of the rice. There's a little bit bubbling away there. Just let that steam in its own steam for the next sort of 10-15 minutes, and that rice will be ready. The egg, that's almost done. I'm going to get pan frying the fish. Now in the actual markets in Ho Chi Minh, this is all deep fried, so definitely healthier to pan fry, but you can still get a really crispy finish on it. What I've done is I've pat this really dry with some kitchen paper on both sides. I just want to slice sort of 2 or 3 slices into the fish on both sides first. That'll help to cook the fish through quicker, but also to get these slices of ginger into the meat. When you're pan frying your fish, you want to make sure you've got enough oil in the base of the pan, but you don't need excessive amounts. The nice thing about using a pomfret fish like this is that the tail gets really crispy if you cook that well. So I'm going to just dip that tail into the oil first, along with the tips of the fish. Just flip it over, do the same on the other side, and then start to pan fry the fins, and then just let that sit on a high heat for about 30 seconds or so before I then bring that down to medium heat. At this point, you want to press down on the fish, make sure that crisps up nicely, and just sort of move that oil around the pan. And this will just ensure that I get really nice and crispy with as little oil as possible to keep it nice and healthy. If you want to go super healthy, you can use avocado oil, which has a really high smoking point. Right, I'm going to turn the heat down, medium heat. After 3 or 4 minutes, just check it's nice and golden brown, and then turn that fish carefully. You can see how nice and crispy that is, and we're going to do the same on the other side. So once it's crisp on both sides, you can take that out. Just sit it on a bit of kitchen towel to just absorb any excess grease. Dab that. I'm going to serve up 1 plate here, so I'm going to cut this in half. So you can see that's cooked through really nicely there. Last bit, your pea shoots. So I'm just going to use the fish oils to cook up my pea shoots very, very simply here. High heat, some garlic, which has just been roughly chopped. Straight over the top, bring all that flavour from the fish frying into the garlic. Once your garlic just starts to brown, then your pea shoots, they've been washed nicely, can go straight in. A little dash of fish sauce, small pinch of sugar, just to work with that fish sauce. Keep that on a high heat. Just let that pea shoot wilt down. And if you want, just a little dash of water to finish it off. You don't want to overcook your pea shoots at all. Keep a nice crunch, so switch that off almost immediately. So 30 seconds to a minute is all you need, and your pea shoots are done. Now, ready to serve up my broken rice. Casting myself back to Ho Chi Minh and its beautiful market, broken rice stands. I've got this healthy version of my broken rice. It's my 10 grain, super grain rice, we'll call it. And then taking a step over my homemade buffet of food here. Got my beautiful greens, my crispy fish, and then my steamed egg meatloaf. Look at that. That has actually had about 25 to 30 minutes because it's so deep. It's packed full of protein and the mushrooms, lots of fresh goodness. And with that steamed finish, it's super healthy. Then I've got some nice squares of my meatloaf. Last bit of greens, why not? Just to brighten the plate up. Pour that sauce over the top. Very quick, home-cooked, broken rice, Vietnamese style. And of course, I've got some homemade Vietnamese pickled daikon and carrot. One of the healthiest parts of Vietnamese cuisine. Some radish in there as well. So what I'm looking for here is, it's a really healthy plate of food, packed full of protein, my super grains, crispiness from the fish, but not deep fried. And then the nice lighter balance from the pea shoots and the pickle. And the meatloaf, the pea shoots tend to be more salty, but the rice got this real sweetness from that fresh coconut water. Everything just goes so well together. You just want to keep going. It's so Moorish, but at the same time, super healthy. Going around not just the markets of Vietnam, but all over the streets, scattered with great food. And I'd say at least 60–70% is really healthy already. Minor tweaks here or there make it even healthier. Big part of my teaching at School of Wok is that Asian cooking is all about balanced meals. And once you get that perfect balance on the plate or through your bowl to share with everyone else, you've got the perfect Asian meal. This to me is the perfect balance, which will certainly help you live healthier, longer, better lives.